Hey everybody, this is Brittany here from Surfing Waves of Light, and today I felt inspired to channel a video. Just wanted to give some updates. I'm having some really interesting synchronicities over here. My last channeling was about physical pain, and we just had Memorial Day weekend, which around here is like a little preview of summer. We get a lot of the summer crowd, and there's just a lot going on. So of course, I tried to do everything this weekend: work, surf, see family, clean up, work, just everything. And Tuesday night, everything came to a head, and I threw my back out, the worst I ever have in my whole life. And I don't think I ever even threw my back out until last year around this time. And I mean, I had back pain, but I was still able to do things, and since Tuesday evening, my back has been in so much pain that it doesn't matter what position I'm in, there's some sort of pressure or pain. And I didn't take anything for like 2 days because I wanted to give it a chance, and last night I broke down and took a muscle relaxer, and that's helped a lot, although it made my body feel really weird. I'm not a huge fan of medicine, although I'm happy to use it when necessary. Right now, when I go from laying to sitting, I have to turn onto my side and push up. I cannot use my lower back muscles at all. I have to bend straight, and wiping right now is so hard. And I'm laughing, but I've been mostly crying. So it's interesting. I've been helping a friend of mine. We've been doing energy healing and meditation and some mind training to prepare her for her delivery, which I was supposed to be a part of, but I threw my back out the night before she went into the hospital, and I thought it was going to get better, and it didn't. So I didn't get to be there, but I supported her virtually a little bit, and she said it was fine. So anyway, seeing that I don't have pain right now while I'm standing, just a little bit in my hip. It's been crazy. I've had pain right on my coccyx and in my hips. So since I am not having a ton of pain right now, I just have a little bit in my right hip. I thought I would try to stand and channel a video. Sitting does not feel good for me, which is why I couldn't drive to the hospital. I also didn't want to be in the room when I don't feel grounded. I literally feel like this is a big root chakra issue. And anyway, the guides really wanted to channel, so they gave me a little heads up, and I didn't listen. And even though I can channel, it doesn't always mean I'm a good listener. I listen in certain ways, and in other ways I don't. And so, among other things, I'm definitely taking this as a message to slow down, and I really need to take better care of myself, because my empty cup cannot fill others. So anyway, let's see what the guides have to say, because I know that they have a lot to say. And sometimes channeling like this really allows me to experience it fully, and maybe it will benefit one of you out there too. So if your back's feeling sore right now, don't push it, because just take my word for it. I've been really struggling, probably the worst pain I've ever been in my life. And I also just want to give a shout out to my partner and boyfriend Greg, because he's had to do everything, and he's been very kind and smiley, and literally everything. So thank you, Greg. Love you, if you're watching. Okay, let's see what the guides have to say. Oh, FYI, too, I'm leaning on this so I can support myself. That's where we're at today. I like to make these videos when I'm feeling all cute and happy, but I know it's just as important to show when things aren't so good. So, alright, let's actually see what they have to say. Greetings, dear beings. This is Saint Germain here with the Arcturian Council, and we are pleased to speak with all of you, and especially this being. This world is not what you all think it is, and not what this being thinks it is. This world is a mirror, a reflection, a relationship. Everything is in relationship to each other. Everything has a reflection within itself, and everything is one. And so we come from this perspective, from the knowing that the perceptions and the world you're experiencing is not so real. And yet, when you are experiencing pain, as this being has been experiencing, no matter how severe, but especially when severe, this world feels very real. It feels very much like a place that exists, that is hard, that is tough, that is rough, that is against you, that is not helping you along the way. And yet, as we expressed in our previous channeling, when we facilitate an injury or physical pain, there is always a purpose. And while this being was crying, trying to shuffle her back just an inch over and unable to do that without pain, it was hard for her to remember or to see that. And yet, on a deeper level, she knows. She knows that this injury is not without its warrants, and she knows that once she receives the lesson that she is meant to receive, that this injury will heal. And so, in her time of laying flat and standing up and feeling pain, there has been a forced reflection of the thoughts that she has been entertaining in her mind. You all have millions and billions of thoughts come into your mind, and this being has been tapping into much fear. This being has been tapping into many lower frequency thoughts. She has not been accessing us as much because there are certain dynamics of her life that she has operated on unconsciously that are now coming to the surface. These are core, deep root issues from her childhood. Ideas that have been expressed through her father and her mother, through the community and the culture that she has lived in. And so when you are shifting these big core beliefs, there is a major shakeup that can occur in the physical dimension. She is not going through her spiritual process in a cave, in an ashram, alone in isolation. No, she is out here in the world, in New Jersey, in a busy, crazy, loud, and hectic place, trying to transmute and direct the relationship between her inner world and the outer world, which is extra challenging when the outer world is so loud, when the outer world is so distracting, when the outer world calls to her so often. This being has many friends, many clients, many routes of potential business that she is facilitating at this time. And so it is easy for her to step away from us, to be more engaged in the external environment and not balanced in what is going on. And so her and her partner are moving into a time of much success and abundance. And yet her fear was a major blocker in this progression. And so we did not want to be too harsh but we felt that she really needed to be put on her knees, literally and figuratively, so that she could analyze more logically the thoughts she has been thinking and look at them and decide, is this true? Thoughts around fear of money. She has felt like there is not enough money, and yet she has created a lifestyle where she does not need a lot of money, but there has been an underlying core belief within her community and family that she needs to make a lot of money to exist. She lives on an island where the average home price is $1 million, and she is aging into her 30s, becoming 32 at the end of this summer, and there has been a belief long stored in her consciousness that by the time she's in her 30s, she will have her own home, be completely independent, and be making enough money to live on her beloved island that she has treasured and cherished, and we have inspired her to be on since she was a young kid, because her purpose is here. And yet her guidance has told her that she does not need to do that. And yet when you have loving guidance going up against a core belief, that can be a battle of two very strong opponents. And it has been the place she has been in. She has not felt solid the past few weeks. You may notice her channeling videos are fewer and far between because she has been engaged in the external world. She has been comparing herself to others, and she has been looking around, feeling inadequate, feeling not good enough, feeling tired of this life that she has been living. And even though she knows that she is blessed, there is these thoughts that have been in the mind, in the body, in the soul for a long time. And we know that as this summer comes and her partner begin holding space for others on a new level through the opening of their shop, Le Garage, where they will be making surfboards and doing cold plunges and saunas and meditations and things that they are not even aware of yet. As this space holding comes more into the physical, this bridge, which is this place, Le Garage, is a vortex. It is a place, a bridge for beings to be in the spiritual and be in the physical world at the same time. That is part of the path for these beings, is to hold a place that people can go so that they can feel unconditional love, so that they can feel community, so that they can feel a part of the greater aspects of this life that are not always accessible in the day-to-day. And so she has been training for this for a long time. And these core beliefs are some of the beliefs that needed to be removed, that needed to be siphoned out so that she could fulfill this purpose in her highest good. And so, yes, 3 days of intense pain, pressure, unable to wipe herself while going to the bathroom. This has been a humiliating and humbling experience for her. She is always on the go. She is always doing a lot, and we appreciate that from her. We need channels and beings of the spiritual realm that have much energy, that have much drive, and yet the balance of this is the most important, and the driving of the action must come from us and not the ego. And so as things get bigger, as things launch on a grander scale for herself, she was finding herself in a twister of running from here to there to everywhere. Synchronistically, her father used to call her Britster Twister, and she is now moving into a time of balance. You are all now moving into a time of balance. And we speak of her because we know that there is a reflection for each and every one of you who are inspired to listen to this video and her experience. You are not separate. And so if this being is suffering in excruciating pain, then there is some aspect of you that is suffering in excruciating pain. And yet her timing to experience this in the physical was now that she has a full month to recover, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally before summer really kicks off here, before the space holding really begins to occur for her and her partner. And she was doing too much, and her purpose was being pushed to the side. And so we stepped in. First, we gave her a small backache, and then we gave her a larger backache, and then we hit her in the chest with her surfboard. She never gets injured surfing, and she knows that if she gets injured surfing, something is out of alignment. And yet she did not listen. This is okay with us. We laugh because to us, and please don't take this the wrong way, to us, you are all like children. Imagine speaking to a 3-year-old. You cannot negotiate with them. You cannot explain to them the higher logic of what is going on. No, you give them directions, and something inside of them either decides to listen, or something inside of them, some other stronger force like the ego, decides not to listen. And that is the beauty of free will. We love for you to experience not us, for you to follow the dictates of other teachers, other guides, of your ego. Because it is in those experiences that you receive contrast. And we do not mind, because you are all destined to live the life you are meant to live. And if you do not make the choices in this lifetime, you will have another opportunity. And yet this lifetime is so important for each and every one of you beings, because this is the life that you decided you were going to make that choice. And so the conditions on earth have been amped up, so to speak, so that you would be forced, quote unquote, still have free will, but forced to make these decisions that would have been much harder to make if the conditions were different. And so while life seems tough out there, there is a purpose. While her back or your back or some other part of your body may hurt, there is a purpose. Know that this earth does serve a purpose. Is it real? That is up for discussion. But is there a purpose? Yes. Because you decided to come here, there is a purpose. Because you decided that you wanted to experience this, there is a purpose. So when you are looking at an issue in your life that doesn't seem right, that seems wrong, that brings upset to your mind, just know there is a purpose. There is a purpose. And you may not be able to see that purpose, like the 3-year-old who does not understand why he can't throw food all over the counter or at a restaurant. There is a purpose, and know that we can see the purpose, and that is why we give you this guidance and these dictates. It is not because we wish to rule you. It is only because we wish to be a part of your journey, because you asked us to come with you. You asked us to be here because you knew that you would not know. And so we are here, and we are guiding you, and we are never hurting you. We are only here to help you stay in alignment, as many of you are and continue to be. As this time moves forward, deeper and more core issues are going to come to the surface. Ones that the COVID pandemic and the other harsh economic and other conditions on your planet have been preparing you for. We are preparing you for peace. We are preparing you to learn how to live slow and go through each moment of your day following your flow. That is how you live an inspired, guided life, by going into each moment, feeling if it is okay, feeling if it is right, and then doing the appropriate thing. This being's main objective is to learn how to say no. She feels pressure to say yes. There is some aspect of her, another underlying core belief we are working on right now. This back pain has a multi-purpose. She has a core belief, a feeling that she wants to accommodate and please others. This has been indoctrinated into her since she was a young child in her family, through her 12 years of Catholic education and the guilt and shame and suffering she thought she was meant to experience. Many of these deeply ingrained beliefs, they become a part of your life, and they are hard to shake. They are difficult to move out of. Even if you can identify them, as this being is well aware of her people-pleasing, it doesn't mean that you will be able to shift out of them overnight. So, awareness is the first step. Feeling into each moment is how you bring that awareness into action. And since her back has been so sensitive, since she has literally pleaded with us to make the pain go away, we know that every step this being takes is going to come from a much more conscious and grounded state. There is a purpose to this back pain. She cannot bend or lean or reach, and that is a metaphor for life. She should never be bending or leaning or reaching for other beings. Her role is to stay standing up straight in alignment, bending from the knees, from the core, from the place of purpose that is hers. Others around her are going to be suffering, are going to be sick, and she is going to be there for them in an aligned way for her. This is a distortion, a distinction, a fine-tuning that we are working on now. And it is something that we know each and every one of you can benefit from. So do not invite in excruciating back pain or any other illness that is debilitating, temporarily or not. Listen to yourself, learn about yourself, and hear what we are saying to you, because we are communicating with you every moment of every day, of every minute, of every perceived second that you all are experiencing. We love you all so very much. There is nothing that you could ever do that would make us not love you. Give that love, that unconditional level of love to yourself. It is the best gift that you can give. It is the best example that you can walk on this planet. One that others can follow. And when millions of beings unconditionally love themselves, this world inevitably changes. We are a Saint-Germain and the Arcturian Council, and we are so pleased to speak with you, and will do so at another time. Damn. I was able to tune into a lot of that. Damn. Nothing for me to say here, so I'm gonna listen in each moment, and I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna listen to this message like 1,000 times. I just love the guides so much. When they come through me, they fill me with a lot of loving energy, and it's just so easy when they're in me to see things from their perspective. But I have been ungrounded, and I have been all over the place, and I have been operating from some low frequency beliefs, having some really low moments. That's okay. I know it's part of life, but it's all purpose and it all has learning. So I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that wherever you are hearing what Spirit has to say and living a happy, filled, and pain-free life. I'll speak to you guys again at another time. Bye for now.